I've officially reached my limit, and I was just thinking to myself, we haven't done an entire room declutter in a very long time, so I think it's time we do that again.
You're now watching the 76th episode of Decluttering My Parents' Entire House.
Carl's off today. It's 5:51 p.m. We're going to see how much of this basement that we can knock out. Unrealistic expectations. I think I'm setting myself up for major disappointment.
Hi, Dodie. You look like a rat. Somebody asked me recently, how do you start to declutter when you feel so overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that you're surrounded by? So I'm going to go step by step over the strategy that I've been using basically since I started this series back in April. And I'm going to be totally honest, I pulled this out of my butt, but it's been working really well.
What the heck is that? Why are there so many lamb chops?
Despite the irony of it all, I am somebody who does not do well in chaotic environments. The kind of person who thrives when there's order and organization. But I also have ADHD and things kind of tend to get ahead of me, which just puts me in this endless cycle of constantly feeling overwhelmed and unable to accomplish anything. So let's get into how I've been able to get things done. I work best and I'm most focused when there's not a lot of stuff around me. If you're anything like me in the beginning of the series and not a single room in your house is clutter-free, what I want you to do is find some boxes or bins, whatever you have on hand. Start in the room that's least cluttered. Throw every piece of clutter in that room into the boxes and bins. Then take those boxes and throw them into a different room.
Already looks 1,000 times better. Sorry, Holly.
So the room that you just cleared out is going to be your working room. Because you have just created the most perfect calm environment for you to work in. And just be aware that the house is going to get ahead of you for a little bit.
Unofficial cameo.
But throughout the process, just keep reminding yourself that things always look worse before they look better.
You're anything.
Sometimes it can be really hard and it can feel like you're taking 2 steps back for every step forward. And the rest of your house might also look like a tornado went through it for a little bit. But that clean room that you have, that's your peaceful place. Take one box at a time and go through it in that room. And I didn't do this, but I have a recommendation. Things that you set aside to get rid of them immediately.
I forgot to show the empty bins.
A lot of people have thrown around the phrase, all of this used to be money. And while it's a really great reminder for not over-consuming in the future, this might be controversial.
This smells like our wedding.
I personally think that that is one of the least helpful things that you can think about when you're trying to declutter. For a couple of reasons.
No way. Look, it's my retainer. Don't need to shoot the heck out of it.
Oftentimes, I think that phrase just leads to a lot of guilt and wanting to hang on to things that you don't need. When you don't have a lot of money, you tend to hang on to things so that you don't have to buy them again. And while that might be a smart financial decision, things can just pile up pretty quickly, especially if you're like us and you don't have much storage space. For instance, I have stored a bunch of kids' clothes so that when my kids move up in sizes, they can wear the clothes we already have. And I've also kept clothes that don't fit me right now because I plan to lose weight. And when I do lose weight, I don't want to have to buy everything over again. And I hope that that kind of gives you a little bit of an understanding into the mind of somebody that lives with clutter. Because a lot of times it's not hoarding so much that you're emotionally attached to things. It's the fear of being stuck without things that you need. And I think that somewhere in there's a really nice middle ground. And that's what I've spent this year kind of working towards. Not hanging on to everything, but also not over-consuming.
9:28, I'm taking a break to feed the baby. I had to cut some of it out because I was sorting papers with our address on them, so yeah, I'm not gonna show that. I just sorted through 2 full boxes of papers. Very proud of myself. We're gonna start round 2 in a little bit. Now 11:43 p.m. and I'm gonna try something kind of wild. It's just moving furniture. It's not really that crazy.
Before I get a bunch of comments about this, the furniture is mounted to the wall.
I think if I can move this thing down there, we can put our Christmas tree right here and still have the swing.
This thing was not heavy to move, but it was really annoying. Everything was falling off the top, and you're about to find out why. It was totally worth it, though.
The ceiling's not even. I'm finding that out the hard way. It's higher right here than it is back
Also,
there.
for some reason, the corners in this room are not square. Anyway, look at all the space that opened up. I'm always really scared when I move furniture that I'm going to find a bunch of bugs behind it. But today we're safe.
The room genuinely looks bigger, and now I'm getting kind of excited. Now I kind of want to rearrange everything. Maybe the hamper can go there, and the table can go there, and we can get rid of that stuff because that's a bin that I need to go through, and then the swing can go here. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Also still need to go through all of this stuff.
I know I might be getting a little bit too ambitious there.
Truthfully, I don't like having anything here at all. I like for the space to be empty. But these are really good for like baby storage. We have diapers and stuff in here. I think I need a bin.
Anyway, part of the problem that we're personally running into is also that we just don't have space. So until we move out, we're kind of just working with what we have. But I don't want to get rid of too much because I don't want to barren house when we move. I honestly just feel like there's no right answer. But I'm tired of feeling surrounded by stuff. I am really happy with the progress that we made. If it wasn't obvious, we never did go back. I did this like 2 days ago and we have not found time. Let this be a reminder that it looks worse before it looks better. Anyway, this is donate so far.